Hey everybody, it's Tyler with Tyler Talks Travel Trailers, and today is Saturday, which means it is insanely busy out here at the dealership, but I still wanted to get out here and get you a video, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to do that there A-frame. I thought the last one I did was the smallest A-frame that they make, but this one I think is actually the smallest one they make with the front storage up front. I will try to show you how we put it up and down and how fast I can do it. I think I'm confident enough to do it with one hand while I hold you guys and we go through this thing. So like always, we're gonna do the specs first. It takes me 1 minute to do those specs and then we'll dive inside. Let's go, guys. So the basic specs on this 2026 Flagstaff A-frame T10RB. Your unloaded vehicle weight is 2,120 pounds. Your cargo carrying capacity is 1,164 pounds, which brings your potential fully loaded weight to 3,284 pounds. Your hitch weight is 284 pounds. The box size is 12 feet. Your exterior closed length is 18 feet 4 inches. Your exterior closed height is 5 feet 1 inch. Your exterior width is 7 feet. Your freshwater tank is 21 gallons. Let's jump inside. All right, guys, now that we got the specs all done, we're gonna dive into this. One thing that I think is gonna be fun is at the end when I'm done touring everything on the outside and inside, I'm gonna put this thing up, or at least try to, with one hand. We will see how simple it is for me to do that. We're gonna get as far as we can using one hand while I hold you guys, but I think I'm gonna be able to get pretty far, and then we'll set it up as well. You could do this super fast, and I will show you guys that, so stick with me to the end. One other thing I wanted to point out with the specs is the cargo carrying capacity. It is, I think, like 1,200 pounds. That is insane for this size of unit. I really doubt majority of people are gonna get close to that number for the GVWR. So don't let the GVWR concern you too much, because majority of people are not going to get that close to that cargo capacity, the fully loaded weight. On average, people tend to put 500 to 800 pounds of cargo even in big units. So don't let that GVWR scare you. As I said, this is a couples coach. If you're new to the channel, I go super in depth. I usually do a lot of measurements, but because it's Saturday, I just don't have the time, but I still wanted to get out here and get you guys a fun little tour since we did one the other day. If this A-frame is just a little too small, definitely check out my other video. The dinette is a little bigger, like a 4-seater dinette. But as you can see, it has a lot of windows on this thing that all open up. Well, just not those two up front, but these windows on this side and the windows on the other side all open up. So you can actually open these and get a really great cross breeze going. And then if you crack them, you can actually turn on that huge max air vent. It has 4 speeds, so that will suck in fresh air and get it nice and cool in here if you're camping in the high country. Or if you have your generator or shore power, this thing does have a generator. It has an air conditioner already on the unit. This is an 11,000 BTU air conditioner. It is running right now. As you can tell, it is super quiet. The other thing I like about this air conditioner is it's not hanging off the side of the wall. A-Liner, they put their air conditioner hanging off the side of the wall, and that's one more thing that you could potentially damage when you're backing up. This is nice and flush and put away. So I love that they put that. It'll have an 11,000 BTU air conditioner, and it'll also have a 20,000 BTU gas furnace right there. So you got hot and cold up in this thing. Oh, I'm stuck. This thing works really good. I had the door open for like 5 minutes, so I cooled it off and then I cooled it back down, or heated it back up. But there's your thermostat. As you see, you got your plugs, your water pump. So this does have a water pump. You have USB and USB-C plugs, and this does have a 100-watt solar panel and a 30-amp solar controller. So that'll constantly keep your batteries recharged. Over here, you do have a Magic Chef 12-volt refrigerator. These things cool extremely fast. Check out my last video. I'll put it at the very end where I go into detail of why Flagstaff is so phenomenal with this thing right here. I'll put the video at the very end so you can check out the other Flagstaff, but I don't have time to get into that. But it is amazing what Flagstaff does for its customers. You do have a little storage right here. Hopefully you can hear me. The air conditioner is blowing right into my microphone. And then you have a little more storage down below. Like I said, I usually measure this stuff, but I just don't have the time. Check out that video at the end where I do measure stuff. You do have a sink, stainless steel sink, so this will have a great fresh tank, which is 20 gallons, I said. It does not have a gray tank though, so you don't have to worry about draining it or anything like that. Over here, you could see you got your dinette that does convert into a bed. The bed, when it's converted down, is going to be 33 by 80. So an adult can easily sleep right there. So if you have a grandkid or an occasional guest, put that table down and it'll go onto those tabs right there. And then you can have a nice sleeping area for them. The one thing you have to do whenever you set this trailer down is make sure you fold that table down and collapse it. So that might be the only thing that takes me the longest to do. So at the very end, I will put you down. That might be the only thing I might need to not use one hand, but I think the rest of it I'll be able to use one hand. But very easy to set that bed up. It's pretty cozy too. Let me sit down on this so you could see. So like there's this little like edge right here that they cut off so you could fit. And look at this, comfortably fitting. This dome does help a little bit, so it gives you a little more head space. But like I said, I'm having no problem sit here. I'm 5'7", and yeah, perfect for two. But if you do have that third guest, they might be able to fit if I scoot over a little more. But pretty big table. Look at how massive that thing is. You can actually have dinner here, eat breakfast, pretty fun. Over here, you kind of have like an end table or a nightstand. These are so fun. Flagstaff's, the A-frames used to be my favorite when I first started selling RVs. But down here, there's a glare. You can see you got a little bit of storage right there. About the little past my wrist. You got another one right there. And your fire extinguisher. You do have another one over here that I'll show you when we go outside. But very simple little unit, and it's super lightweight. So if you don't have like a super heavy duty truck, you could tow this with like a Subaru, no problem. This is going to be a 54 by 80, so it's the length of a queen, but a little narrower. But most people will be comfortable in this. Two people will sleep comfortably. But if you're used to a king, it is a little shorter. It does come with like a hanging wardrobe that I forgot to pull out, but it hangs right here on those 4 clips. I did pull it out on the last video I did. So like I said, definitely check out that other video if you're interested in A-frames, because that is a little bigger than this one. And then this pops open, and then you have an area to hang some clothes up right here. You want to make sure that's closed when you do put it down. When it closes, it comes down to that black seam right there, and we will go into that as well. But overall, nice little unit. It does not have the stovetop inside, but it does come with something on the outside that I'll show you, and it's one of the only A-frames that comes with it. You do have some nice shades right here that will close, a little bit of privacy, but overall, pretty fun. You got your lights that you could turn off individually. Let's head outside so we can show you some of the storage out here. Shut this door so I keep that cold air in. Over here to the front, you can see you got 2 20-pound propane tanks. If you come by from me, I'll make sure you get an electric jack. This is a manual one. You got dual battery box, battery disconnect, and tons of storage. So they do make one smaller than this, but it doesn't have this storage. So if you're really limited on weight, you could sacrifice the storage and still get into an A-frame, but this is the perfect size because you do get this storage. This little hook right here, let's see if I can show you. See this pole right there? That is to help assist you when you set it up, and I will show you. It clips right into those little clips right there, but I can do it without that, but it's for people that might be a little shorter. Over here, you do have storage, or access to that storage from up above. This will hold 150 pounds in the front, just right here. So when I told you that you're not gonna carry 1,200 pounds of cargo, you could see why. Look how much storage this is, and it can only hold 150 pounds in this front spot. So don't be too concerned about that GVWR. You obviously don't wanna hit your max. You got another storage area right here. And that's the one you can access from inside, that little door that I was showing you underneath the dinette. One thing that I love that Flagstaff does that a lot of companies do not is they are actually giving you an automotive grade independent suspension, also known as Torflex. So each axle, each wheel will flex independently. So when you're going down the road, if you're going down a rough road and you hit a pothole, how much is that going to absorb the shock and not transfer it to the frame? It's also going to be a lot better to tow. And like I said, it does not have a stove top, but you see this little railing right here? It actually comes with the griddle. Check it out. It's in this box, but I didn't pull it out. There it is. You can kind of see it. It's a flat top. This is the only A-frame that comes with that griddle. And then that white thing back there is that hanging wardrobe I was telling you about, and then your power cord. So really great storage under there. I'll talk about the wall construction when we go all the way around. The wall construction on this is amazing. Coming to the back, you got your spare tire. You got 4 stabilizers, 2 in the front and 2 in the back. So as you can see, they're crank down. So if you get a drill and a socket, it's really fast, but they give you the manual crank. See how nice and flush your air conditioner is right there instead of it hanging off the wall? This is for when you're dry camping, your potable water, and then your city hookups if you're at a campground. Like I said, it does not have a gray tank, so you'll put a hose here and just flow it off into the grass or wherever you're camping. It's just hand water, so you can let it fall wherever. It's not like it's black water. One thing I want to point out is they all have the gas struts right here. So you'll notice when I put this thing down, it doesn't just fall down. You don't have to be super concerned about it falling on you, and you will see how easy it is. Coming up in about 3 to 5 minutes. We got the light up front. Doing something wrong. That light for when you're hooking up and docking and things like that. There's your 100 watt solar panel up top. Here's a huge feature or a construction aspect of Flagstaff that I want to talk about. The way they make these walls is it'll go the fiberglass, then it'll go Luan, and then your framing and the rigid block foam. Sometimes they use Luan, which is just a thin sheet of wood that goes across the wall, or they'll use a composite material. The composite material is basically waterproof. It is impervious to water, as they say. And Luan, as you can tell, it's just wood. What happens when wood gets wet? It gets moldy, mildewy, and it starts to degrade on you, and your walls will literally start to separate. As you can see right there, you can see that wall is starting to bubble. That's because water has literally gotten in the walls. And you got to imagine these things sit out in all the crazy weather unless you have indoor storage. So it's exposed to all the elements. So Flagstaff does that composite wall right there, not Luan, but get this, they actually double layer that composite material on the outside and on the inside. One of the few companies that does that. So you got great towing because of that torsion axle, and you also have a nice solid construction with that composite material. Not to mention your windows are all tinted. Might seem like a small feature, but a lot of companies don't tint the windows, so the windows are all nice and tinted. All right, guys. So what do you think? You think I'm gonna be able to do this with one hand? This is gonna be a challenge. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to set you down once. Definitely gonna have to set you down for this table. Let's see if I could put you down in a good spot. Let's see here. A lot of people are very curious about how you set these up, so I'm gonna put you right there real quick. This is probably literally the hardest part of the whole setup, is putting this table down. So you just push this up, put that leg down, hit that one, and then grab your table and put it right into these grooves. All right. Grab you. So you see how you put that table down right there, and then you'll grab this cushion, throw that right there, grab this cushion, and go right there. And then here's the fun part. Whew. Okay, I'm out of shape. All you need to do is undo these clips right here. I have already done that one, But you want, the first one you want to do is going to be this one. Out of all the clips, you want to do that one first, and I'll show you why. So you have that unhooked. It's safe because I haven't done the other side. You'll come over here and unhook this one, and then this wall comes down. Look at this, one hand. How cool is that? This might be the part where I need to put it down. The next step you'll do is you'll flip this, push the door out. There we go. Okay, one hand, still got it. And then you'll unlatch this one. Okay, and then you'll grab the door and you'll bring it down. You kind of come through the doorway, as you can see. See that? I don't know if you can see me. Come through the doorway, put this door back down. I did it! And then you'll walk out. So simple, it is ridiculous. Okay? This is where that handle comes in handy because it latches on right there, but I'm just gonna do it with one hand right here. Oh, and then you do wanna flip this back over. Bam. And then let's give this a good push. Look at that. Does it get any easier than that? Look, I'm not even touching it. And then you'll kind of push it down and you're done. How insanely easy is that? If it's just two people, I would definitely go with a hard-sided pop-up. I would not go with the canvas. There's certain instances where canvas is good. If you have a big family, you can't tow a lot, and you need the extra beds, then yes, I see a canvas being a good option. But man, with how simple that is, you can't go wrong. Think about how fast you're gonna get set up at the campground while everyone else is still setting up a canvas pop-up. Then, like let's say you're wanting to hit the road, you just put these latches on all four sides, and then you're done. Jeez, I honestly didn't think I was gonna get it with one hand. Okay, let's see if I could set it up. Let's see how fast I could set it back up. Stick with me, guys. I want you to see how fast I do this. I'm the fastest high wall or hard side pop-up setupper in all of the Southwest. Okay, check this out. Look how easy this is. This is where the handle could come in handy, but I'm just gonna do it without it. So you'll lift this side, push this. Look at that. That was like no effort. Those struts helped a lot. Let me make sure you're still seeing. Okay, you're good. Now you come in, pull this up, slam the door, bring this up, do those locks that I told you about, set this wall up, and you are done. And then you'll latch this. Check that out. How freaking awesome is that? Look at that. Done. Super simple. Huh? It's freaking awesome. I love it. I love A-frames. So we're gonna end it pretty quick here. I'm really happy that I was able to show you how to set it up and down because a lot of people wanna know how difficult it is. And as you can see, I did it with one hand. I'm not the strongest guy. I have noodles for arms. So, and if you're a little shorter, you do have that bar that you can like push up with. But really fun to show you guys that. If you're wondering where I'm located at Albuquerque RV in Albuquerque, New Mexico. My phone number will be down below in the description, so call in. Please, please ask for Tyler. Or if you put a lead in on our website, just say, hey, I want to talk to the annoying kid on YouTube. They'll pass your info on to me. The reason I say that is because we're on a rotating list. And if you don't ask for me, you could end up with someone else, which isn't a terrible thing, but I want to help you. So I'm not a YouTuber. I am a full-time salesperson. So getting those calls and people asking for me is just a huge help and a morale boost because I put a lot of work into these on top of me selling trailers full-time. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, baby. Also, the video on the last one I did where I went really in depth will be on one of these sides. So check out that one. It's just a tad bit bigger, not much heavier. So most people should be able to tow it. And what else was I gonna say? yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, guys.